Shure's made some updates to their SRH840 headphones. These are headphones designed for studio use, recording, monitoring, podcasting. In fact, Shure says they're a content creator headphone. So let's check out the brand new SRH840A headphones from Shure. Now, I've been testing these headphones for some time. I've used them for general listening, a little bit of mixing, so they are well run in. That said, I'm going to roll back the clock and I will unbox the headphones for you so you can see that. But for those of you that know my headphone reviews, you understand it's not just going to be my opinion. We're going to go ahead and do some audio tests with frequency analysis. I'm going to let you hear the headphones through my binaural mic so you can assess the accuracy and coloration for yourself. Then I'll get into the build quality and I'll give you my final thoughts. Shure's done a nice job of the packaging on these headphones. We can see we get the headphones as well as some information showing on the outside. Now, as we open them up, there is a molded insert, so that's going to protect the headphones on their way to you. That's really good to see here. And as we lift up the insert, we can see the accessories are there. We get a cable, we get a carry pouch, as well as a headphone manual. Now, the pouch itself is soft-sided, so it's not like a hard case. It's going to protect the headphones, but it will keep them together with their cable. And we get a nice quality cable for the headphones. Get an adapter here too. It's a straight cable only here, no coil cable, but you can order one if you like from Shure. The adapter seems pretty standard. As far as the headphones go, they are plastic construction. They've got pleather ear pads. Seem to be of a decent quality for the price. Very lightweight, so that'll be nice if you need to wear them for a long time. We'll do 4 audio tests on these headphones. We'll start with a sine wave sweep, then we'll do some music, spoken word, and game audio. Now we have both linear and logarithmic frequency analysis for these tests. Looking here at the sine sweep on a linear basis, it really does appear there's some information missing here, maybe some overemphasized areas. But let's check out the log example so we can see what we might hear. Now, looking at the log comparison, we can see that there are some missing frequencies or underemphasized frequencies in that upper presence range. Also, a pretty good boost happening around 10 kilohertz, as well as in the low range as well. Now, of course, headphones reproduce sound a little differently when there's a variety of frequencies, not a sweep just covering one at a time. So let's go ahead and listen to some music. Now, we look at the music analysis here on a linear basis. It looks like we have some grossly overemphasized frequencies in the middle, as well as some underemphasized frequencies as we get up in the higher range. But let's check out the log comparison to see what we might hear. And of course, the log comparison is going to give us a better idea of not only the driver, but the tuning, what we're going to hear. And so when I look at music here, it actually looks like a fairly reasonable reproduction other than some overemphasized bass, as well as a kind of a spike again around that 10 kilohertz. And I can hear that. Hopefully it translates well through the binaural mic for you as well. And this is a sample of spoken word, so we can compare the sound of the recording directly versus the sound through the headphones. And this is a sample of spoken word, so we can compare the sound of the recording directly versus the sound through the headphones. Now, the frequency characteristics for spoken word are very different from music. So when we look at the linear analysis here, we almost get like a scooped appearance. And again, I can hear that, but let's check out the log comparison. And looking at the log analysis, there is some scoop happening in the upper presence areas, as well as, again, that overboosted area around 10K that I've been talking about. And while these are a studio headset, not really a gaming headset, Shure is calling them a content creator headset. So I know a few of you may end up using them for gaming. Let's hear what that might sound like. I will say they are kind of boosted in the low end, so if you like bass, these may be for you. Now, taking a look at the build quality of these headphones, they are all plastic construction, cups, band, everything. They do have kind of a leather pad along the top with the Shure logo embossed. Looks really nice with the stitching. Underneath, we have some fabric with padding. Could be a little more here. I'd like that for comfort, but it does get the job done. They might not have wanted to add too much extra because when you extend the headphones all the way, they still are rather restrictive in terms of size. So if you have a large head, you may find that the pads are really getting tight to the underside of your ear. So just to keep that in mind as well. Again, plastic construction on the cups themselves. The ear pads are a pleather material. They are pretty comfortable, I will say. They do get warm after a while, like all pleather pads do. They're replaceable. Shure has the authentic replacements for them, so you don't have to worry about any kind of off-spec pads maybe changing the response of your headphones. So that's nice to see with this. Beyond that, the cable is a detachable cable. Nice to see. It seems to be a pretty good quality as well, so I'm happy with that. One thing I will note is the jack on the side of the cup here is a little bit recessed, and so when you go to put this cable in, your hand is kind of interfered with by the cup. So I find it a little awkward. You can't actually grip it by the barrel to insert it into here. So just a minor thing. You're probably not taking that in and out all the time, but still something to be aware of. One other thing I'll mention too is that the mechanism for adjusting this here, it's kind of a step mechanism. My particular sample of this, when I shake it, it actually has a tendency to open and drop away from here. One side more than the other side. Now, I don't know again if that's just my sample here or if this is something to do with these headphones all the time, but they're a little bit loose, and so don't expect them to kind of stay in one place permanently once you set them to the adjustment you like. Now, I have included a list of the features and specifications in the description below for you, but suffice to say they're a closed-back headphone with 40 ohms impedance, so you can use them pretty much with any device you want. They'll work great with phones, tablets, computers, audio interfaces, pretty much anything, and they're light enough that if you want to wear them for a longer session, that'll be okay too. So if I think about who these headphones are for, I'm going to say that I wouldn't recommend them necessarily for a musician because they don't have the most natural or accurate frequency response. So if you want to use them for a variety of things like mixing, not going to be the best choice for you. They're okay for recording. For general content creation, absolutely fine. I mean, they reproduce spoken word well. So if you're a podcaster, you do voiceover, that sort of thing, 100% no issues there. So nice to see that. The headphones do have an improvement over the previous version. They're a little better construction, although I did note that one concern with the adjustment not holding in place. So that's something that may loosen up over time. Can't be 100% certain on that. If I compare this to other headphones, I have to say in this price range, and they're around $150 at the time of recording, they certainly are decent in that price range. I don't think they're the best choice necessarily or the worst choice. Comes down to a little bit of preference. So hopefully those audio tests helped you out. And if you think you might need a more accurate set of headphones for mixing or mastering, check out one of these two options.